And it's so easy for people to look at other people doing well and then say things like, oh, it's easy for them or it's lucky for
Mm.
her and blah, 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 blah. But if you really actually speak to people that are very successful, it's not easy for anyone. Everyone puts in the work.
Welcome back to Wealthy as Fuck, the podcast. I am with my gorgeous friend, Jessica Lowe from Happy Healthy Nutrition. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Kim. How are you today?
Oh, great. It's great. Actually, do you know what? I had the realization today. I'm like, there's only like a week and a half left of summer. So
I
I'm
know.
great, but I had a depressing moment this morning.
I'm like, you just depressed me by telling me that.
I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
bitch.
I was like thinking about it before we got on this. I was like, where did that go? But anyway, I've got Jess here because Jess, we've known each other like 8 years at least, like known of each other.
Yep.
Would
Similar
say like
circles.
it's been and it was in the wellness. Well, so Jess is a nutritionist. I'm going to get you to give yourself a way better bio than I'm going to give you because I will butcher it no matter what. And like I'll probably try and say fancy words that I can't even articulate with your qualifications and everything. But we actually met like in my previous business, and you were part of that business as well when we worked with a nutritional product and, helping people get healthy obviously makes sense for you because you already worked in that space. And we kind of like separated, like went and did our own things. I was starting my own business and then we've come back into each other's lives. I actually signed up as a client of yours. It's been a year and a half. I feel like it was just last year.
That was actually one of my moments before I changed everything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was in that phase. So it is funny how universally timing all kind of happens. And now we've been put back in this fusion circle together.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And we're back in. We've both joined a high-end networking. It's like networking in a circle because there's only 12 of us. And it's been so amazing. But Jess, like, I actually just want to give I want to be a little testimonial for Jess first before we dive into the money chats because health is wealth anyway. But I came to you because it was my gut health. It was that last little thing that the kicker of like, it's like I knew what I needed to do, but I need someone to tell me what to do. And you like healed my gut. You did all the things and it was only within 4 weeks. Do you know what? It's all the like aesthetic things that you're not meant to say as a woman, but I got my flat stomach back. I don't have it now because I'm pregnant, but I hope you gave me my stomach back. My inflammation dropped. I wasn't puffy. I wanted to kill the candida, the overgrowth of candida in my body anyway. And you helped me so much. So Jess is like, she knows her shit when it comes to health. But today we're going to dive deeper into not just health, it's the money side of it, our relationship with ourselves and how that affects like wealth and abundance everywhere. But give us a little bit more of tell us about you and tell us how you love to help people.
Cool. All right. So I am Jessica Lowe. I'm a nutritionist and I kind of specialize in the sports nutrition and functional nutrition space. I've been a nutritionist for 10 years and it's my second career. So I did come from a corporate background and, being younger. So that was like my 20s until I was 30. So I've been a nutritionist 30 to 40, complete corporate burnout. So all the things, the limiting beliefs and all of that trauma was just putting me into being a workaholic. So in terms of money, I think I've done quite well achieving things through my life. I bought my first house at 19, second at 22, got all the travel done really young, but I also got divorced at 27 and, climbed that corporate ladder, had an amazing job at 28 as a national marketing manager, but my health crumbled. So that's where I learned so much about health and then spent kind of a few years healing myself physically, mentally, in all those aspects. Became a nutritionist, and it wasn't until I became a mum at 32 that I actually also realized that all of those limiting beliefs and that trauma was still there. And you can, if it's health or money, you're going to get to a certain point, and I call it the glass ceiling. Now, what that glass ceiling is your own self, your own beliefs, your own trauma, your own self-sabotaging behaviors that get in your way from achieving what's beyond that glass ceiling, right? And whether that's with your physical health, your mental health, or your money and your bank account and how you can hold that money, what's going to get in your way is your limiting beliefs and your trauma. So I worked through a lot of trauma and stuff to get myself I'm very, very healthy. But for me, there was so much work in my health and, becoming a great mother and then working through so much trauma to get also my mental health into an amazing place. It wasn't until I really decided to look at my business and take it a lot more seriously to actually acknowledge that I had some massive limiting beliefs around money as well. So that's why I'm so excited to speak to Kim today about that, because it's exactly the same with health. I see it all the time with my clients. And that's also why I became an NLP coach. So I'm also a qualified NLP coach. It's to catch people out in their own bullshit. So you can come to me and tell me that you want to have a hot body or you want to have more energy and want to feel amazing. But if you can't stick to a program because all of those limiting beliefs in your unconscious mind are literally going to get in your way, if you can't be strong enough to, one, identify and have the awareness there, pay the money to work with a coach or an expert who's going to support you to push through that limiting BS that you have, and then work through that to go through that glass ceiling, then you're going to stay stuck. So that's
Mhm.
kind of what I do. I do have an amazing online program. So we'll talk about that today, because that's also directly correlated to my limiting belief with money. And I had created this glass ceiling with my business, and I stuck at the same six figures of 150K a year for 6 years. My business basically stayed the same. And then I realized I just wanted more and stopped shaming myself for that. But yes, I've kind of gone on a tangent here. So I'll let you
Love
ask me
it.
another question.
No, I love it. I'm usually the call myself the tangent queen. So you're the thing is you're on a tangent. I'm like, I'm following 100%. I get it. So no, I
I'm
love
like this.
it. No, it's great. It's what like I'm a big believer of like it's what was meant to come out. It's like the message that was meant to be said and shared. So let's talk about the money side of things. So and you and I have very similar language. Like it's the same limited belief, self-sabotaging. I know other people and other coaches describe it in different ways, but I love it. We have literally the same language. And if anything, I just tailor everything I do to specific with money. You tailor a lot of things to do with people specific with their health.
Yep.
And the outcome and the feeling people have are the same. It just looks different. One's more bank account, one's more body. You know what I mean?
100%.
But talk to me about your like then you were at this glass ceiling for 6 years and I get that. I've hit so many glass ceilings. Well, tell me a bit more about or tell us more about I feel like you've got decades of like what you could tell us. So the leading up to that point of being like, okay, there is a glass ceiling and it's time to break through. So what was going on for you and what
Yep.
realizations did you have?
Okay. So the other thing was as well is like, and actually, so we obviously did this session yesterday with Peter, and he is an amazing business coach, and he talked about the why. And not just your why of what you want kind of today, but what do you want long term? What are you going to work your ass off for years and then look back and realize, did you actually achieve that thing? Or were you just working so hard that you missed the point? So for me, it's been my babies all along. I left corporate and a really successful career and lots of money because I wanted to be a good mum. So, and there's lots of different ways to be a good mum, but for what that looks like for me is to be able to be there for the school carnivals, for the pickups, and for the really fucking hard conversations, because there was times in my life where I needed the support and the hard conversations with my parents, but they were so busy working, they weren't there. And not only were they so busy working, they're really old now and they're retired and they really don't have much to show for it. So they were in corporate, and I look at them and their careers and what they put into their corporate, and I was mirroring them. I was doing that. I was doing the
Yeah.
long hours. Like, my health wasn't great because I was overworking, really stressed, and, quite a perfectionist high performer, constantly putting pressure on myself. So working in health, there was the switch change of that. But then I had Emily at 32, basically when I pretty much started my business, and my husband worked away. So it was hard. She was little. I don't have family support because we're not close. And I was basically kind of like a single mum because I was traveling all the time. But I had the work ethic and I'm passionate, so passionate about health. I just really, really wanted to help people. Um, so, the first few years were quite hard and I grew the business. And then I built a name because I've always given a lot in my coaching, and I care so much. I care too much. But I got into the point where my clinic would grow and I couldn't see any more clients. And when I was seeing more clients, it's stealing away from my time for my health and my family. So completely against what I was actually trying to achieve in the first place. So I got more nutritionists. No one wanted to see them. They wanted to see me. And I have done quite well in investing. So we bought the clinic that I'm in now for the business. So I've been quite smart with it, but I was still only really like the best year up until the last kind of 18 months, because we've had a massive growth period, which I'll talk about in a second. The best year I had was 165,000. And that was with a team and paying for a clinic and everything. So there's not actually that much left. Now, my husband's always earned a really good income. So he was always like, you manage your business and keep yourself passionate and happy and the kids, and I'll kind of earn the money and we'll do it that way. And we've done quite well as a family, but there was no real pressure on me to kind of bring that money in, right? And then because I got to the point where I was constantly giving my all to my clients, I got resentful. And I also, the business wasn't growing. I wasn't making much money. And I was giving and giving and giving, not only to my clients, but to my family. And
Mhm.
yes, I managed to stay healthy because I'm committed, but it's fucking hard, right? There's not much left. We also really struggled to have our second baby. So Isaac, my little boy who just turned 3, I didn't have him till I was basically 38 years old. And then when I had him, I wanted nothing more but to give him all of me. So I did have an online membership, which I've had since 2018, which is basically a recipe club, but it wasn't growing. So I'd had 100 members in there since 2019 and it wasn't growing. So what my kind of strategy was is I'll take a year off, have amazing time with Isaac, my son. And honestly, it was the best year of my life. Not having to come into clinic and give my older clients when I was breastfeeding and had this new baby was the most joy and love I have felt in my whole life. I'm getting this viscerally through my body right now. It can make me cry. It was it was incredible, right? And I was really proud of myself to actually be like, I even shut down a website that was ranking really high in Google, which I regret now. But at the time, it left people were leaving me alone finally. For years and years, I'd just been constantly in high demand for clients, which to the outside world, people like Jess's business is doing really well, but it wasn't. It couldn't grow because I was selling my time for money.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I first of all, in that first year, I thought, right, I'm going to try and do things differently. I'll do Facebook ads and I'll try and grow my online membership. Well, basically, long story short, it didn't really work. And in the June of 2024, so just before the new financial year, I had my worst year in business. So I made 6K that month, and that basically covered my clinic, all my online digital costs, and I think I paid myself about 2 grand. And at the time, because of shutting the clinic down from mat leave, I didn't have any team. So anyway, it wasn't much, but it was my worst month in years. And it was pretty, I just finished a huge Facebook launch, which I sold a lot into the program, but no one became members. People just wanted to see me in clinic.
Yeah.
And like, it was a real slap in the face because I was like, this is crap. And I'm either all in or all out. So that's where I was like, I can't go back to clinic one on one. Just can't do it. And in that time as well, I had tripled my prices for in clinic. So if I did see a client, they're paying top dollar.
Yeah.
And I still get a few clients, but I just see a few a week, which is nice to manage and a really good experience. So I took a step back, and in that first year month of the financial year, so the July, I thought, right, how can I do things differently? And I went on a bit of a journey, and I called lots of like app developers, and like basically to try to figure out, why is my online membership not converting? Why is it not selling? Everyone loves my recipes. Everyone loves working with me, but why is it? And they all told me the same thing. It's you, it's your energy, and it's the way you consult. And it's the fact that you're really passionate about personalized nutrition because you understand people need different approaches. They might need a different coaching style, but they're going to need a different amount of calories, macros, micros. Like what you did, it was a gut, protocol. And that personalization is a lot of work, right? But that's why I'm so good at what I do. And that's why people pay the big bucks to come and see me in clinic. So that was another slap in the face because I thought, shit, I can't, like, how can I monetize this
Yeah.
without selling my time for money? And then I spoke to one app developer who was like, look, there's this guy in Sydney. He's an absolute genius. He can clone you with AI using your intelligence into a chatbot, and we can actually mirror your in clinic consultation experience. And you can put all of your information from your brain and your knowledge and your IP into this tool, and we can automate those reports that are taking you hours to write up. And I was like, fuck
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I spoke to the guy. We got along really well. He was just as passionate about the idea as me. Lots of money. But for the first time, I mean, outside of property, I've never really borrowed money for my business. So I was like, right. I went and got a huge ass bank loan and I went, I'm all in. But then I still had one similar problem that I was acknowledged myself. I still have to sell this online and try and convince consumers to join me, right? And I don't really like being on social media. I'm not very good at it. I'd rather not be on my phone. I'd rather be present with my kids or at the gym lifting some heavy weights or cooking a good meal. So I thought, shit, that's still a real problem. And I don't have much marketing money because I'm spending so much money on this actual tool. So I came up with a light bulb moment with I sell it B2B. So I subscribe gyms, being a sports nutritionist, really easy to do. And I've got a great reputation in the industry. And then they get lots of their members on and they pay the subscription. One, they can grow their revenue through the program. And two, their members are going to get amazing results because it's the first time that the gap between generic nutrition and personalized in clinic nutrition has been bridged. So I've bridged the gap. So I'll give you the quick story. Basically, that was a lot of work. It took a lot of time. I took a whole step back and spent months and months and months first building the console. Then I built 800 meal plans to go in the back end of it. So when they console and we calculate their nutrients and everything correctly, it data matches to the plan that matches them that I've actually built. So that's a really important thing to note because the meal plans aren't built by AI. It's not like going to chat
Yeah.
GTP. It's a proper console and it's an actual meal plan from a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So we're talking your macros, your calories, 25 grams of fiber a day, and all the micronutrients that you need for your particular health conditions, which might be thyroid or, insulin resistance, whatever. So it's personalized nutrition that anyone can access from anywhere at any time. And we started beta testing November 2024. So made the choice in July, done the consult by the November. And then we went into phase 2, which was building a web app. So we put the consult tool into a web app with all of my recipes. And now it's basically a program where you can consult, get your report, get your meal plan, have access to all your recipes, shopping lists, change your serving sizes, everything.
Mm.
And the tool's so smart, it remembers you. So it's like, Kim, how did you go with last month? Your goal was to lose 4 kilos and heal your gut, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we check everything, sleep, stools, a whole lot. And then you get a new meal plan in your report. So it's just like coaching with me, but all through this tool. And I'm just chilling in the background with my
I love
family. And
this. It's how
yeah,
can you help you found the answer, the way to, like, how can I it's the personalized but one to many, like, how can I help so many people? Because you're here to help. You don't just wanna help the one person, you wanna help so many people because so many people need this, and you wanna make the impact, and you wanna create this legacy. This is where I love where AI and tech have come into play, like, you're cloned, but it's not even you cloned, it's just you in
correct.
digital tech form,
Yeah,
which I fucking love.
it's amazing. And the thing I
Yeah.
love the most is I can help so many people. Whereas if I actually speak to them in clinic, I'm an empath and I get so involved. So I get affected by the energy and I can't take too many clients on because it just literally it
Well,
affects me, right? Because I do care too much. But this way I can help so many people. And unless they pay for an additional coaching call, there's no energetic exchange for me. But they can turn up in my group, feel supported, ask us questions. There's hundreds of people in there. They're motivated, inspired. And the results that we're getting is fucking epic. And we've got gyms, in Sydney, and we're just getting started. So it's really excited. So yeah,
I
I'm pretty pumped.
I love this, and I think this is a really good point because if you're not a business owner listening to this, it really depends whoever's listening right now, depending on what they want. First of all, like, from a maybe potential customer point of view, they're probably like, "I fucking need this." So good, go follow Jess, and her Instagram's in the notes below. Like, make sure you're following Jess in her account. But, like, even if you're in business, I love talking about this side of it. Actually, you know what? You don't even have to be in business. It's you share how, well, I don't need to put in my energy. There's no energy output from me. Now, my part of my brain, like my victim ego part of my brain hears and it's like, oh, I want you to help me, but you're bragging, like bragging in a good way. Like, I don't have to put my energy into it. I'm like, this is the whole point. Like, this is the whole point of, we want more money. We show up in this world with our services or products, or we give our time at a job, whatever it is, to get that money. But at the end of the day, we want more money to have more time back, have more of our energy back. So the energy output's not going out. So I think there's a really beautiful message and lesson in this is like, how can I earn more? And the earn more is the resource to have more time, do whatever you got, whatever you want to do with the money. I don't care what that is, but we want the money to be able to do that. How can I do that? And how can I, like, it doesn't cost me in the long run. It doesn't Do you know what I mean? There's not
Yes. Yeah.
funny words, but the words don't like to come out.
I know exactly what you mean. And it does probably people like, oh, well, I want her energy.
But
But
then you
like,
pay for it.
exactly. But also they're kind of getting my energy because
Yeah.
I made the investment. So I made the investment in two ways. Actually, there's three ways, right? Now, this
Mm,
is where most people won't do it. Most people will stay stuck because
yeah.
that first bit of pain is too fucking hard for them.
Yeah.
Sounds up myself, but I've done so much
We've
work.
been there,
Like,
though. Me and you've been there. We were the victims of our situation and circumstance where we were like, "Can't afford it. Nah, 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 like, do it all myself." So we were choosing to stay stuck. So we can say this. We're only gonna
exactly.
be people if they're listening from their victim and not from their higher self. And this whole podcast and everything I do is all about step into higher self, get out of your victim, or you're choosing to stay broke. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
So you're choosing to stay broke or you're choosing to stay overweight, unhealthy, and
yeah,
unhappy. It's the
yeah.
exact same thing. So what I did was like I was unhappy in my job and it was going to make me broke. So there was two choices, right? I stay stuck and I see clients one on one for the rest of my life. I don't be there for my kids and I stay at that 150 grand glass ceiling and just stay stuck with money and not grow. Well, I wasn't going to do that. And I definitely wasn't going to give up because I was at the 10-year point of my business. I've been making recipes, calculating, extra study, so much to become this amazing nutritionist and health coach because I care. I had all this IP, I had to put it into something. So the sacrifice was for a few months, it was about 4 or 5 months. I sat at that 6K a month because I wasn't going to be seeing extra clients. I was spending the time, bless you, I was spending the time to build this tool because I could see that long term investment. So one, I kind of took a bit of a hit there, right? Plus, I went and got the bank loan. Plus, I also paid a babysitter so I could work more and get this project off the ground, all on the belief that I was building something that would return in the long run. And then
Tenfold, more
when we
than
did
tenfold. Yeah, yeah,
exactly, and it has. So July was when we finally launched the part two, the web app, which that's a whole nother story. I won't get into that, but that went legal. That was a massive shit show where I definitely could have walked away and I didn't. But we launched that in July. So that's what not that's 6 months.
yeah.
And I've doubled. So that ceiling has been smashed. So we've
Oh
doubled the
my
numbers.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's exciting times. Like we're just getting started. And
Just
it's
so excited for this. And I love this. I love to frame this in the beautiful lessons or like your specific story to you, even though my story, like I didn't build an app or I didn't, it didn't look the same, but it was, this is how I felt. And this is what I need to do. And we need to, when we're feeling stuck, it's like we've got to invest. It's that whole saying in business, but it applies to life is you got to spend money to make money, right?
100%.
You got to spend something to make. What it is there's a sacrifice. There's a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. You've got to put in the energy. It's like when the plane wants to, you want a plane can fly in the air. Thank God I know this because I used to hate flying. I still kind of do. It can fly, even if the engines fail, the plane can still fly based off lift and aerodynamics and all that. So that's like the soaring, the just, flight mode, like autopilot, right? But to
Yeah.
get there, it uses something more like 80%. I could be wrong, could get my stats wrong, but it's a shitload of its fuel. It's a high percentage of its fuel just to get off the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that big momentum needed, and so many people are not prepared to do it because they're scared or they're afraid of failure. So they're keeping themselves there. And like, I get this. This is why we put so much energy in. Like, I do it in how can I help the many? And I can't, I want to do one-on-one clients ever, but I physically, energetically can't because then I won't be able to give. It's, I pour into recording things and planning things and doing my own work and shifting my shit and limiting beliefs and all of that. So then I can pour from this overflowing cup. And that's what
100%.
and I think it's such a beautiful message because even if you're listening, you're not a business owner. Like usually us business owners, us entrepreneurs, we just have goals and we have a vehicle in which we can keep scaling and expanding. But you might be listening and being like, well, I work my job or FIFO family or where there's a set salary, set wage, but I want more. It's what are you prepared to do? Like if it's not going to, you're either going to spend money or you're going to spend time. You've got to invest it in there. But what needs to change, and it's going to require effort energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to move you to break through. Like you want to break through the ceiling. The metaphor is perfect. Like you can't just like tap. tappy tap tap.
Yeah. It looks pretty up there, but I'm
Happening.
stuck.
It's like, you know what I thought I just go? It's like, remember the original Willy Wonka? I just thought of this so random. Where and it goes through the ceiling at the end. And then
Yeah.
the
Oh,
little
yeah, then it goes through.
yeah, the
Yeah.
original one, the old school
It
one.
smashes, yeah.
That's it,
I
like,
was
that
thinking,
films my ment.
you know what I was thinking of? Help, I'm in a nutshell.
But I think we can't just tap. Well, you can tap, 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 tap. I'm just gonna do a little bit. You're
Yeah.
never gonna fucking break the glass. Like, that's not, it's not even glass. It's, you know what it is? Okay, I'm like on a roll here. I've been at the top of the tower in Toronto, the CN Tower, I think it's called, the really tall one that whatnot. And you go up there and they have a glass bottom, right? But I couldn't even stand on it because I was like, fuck that. It's like they said something, there could be so many elephants standing on that and that wouldn't break. Still didn't do anything for my psyche. But this is the type of glass ceiling that we're trying to crack through that
Correct.
is really fucking hard to break. You need a lot of force,
Yep.
which is the emotional, the belief in self.
Yep.
Even when we feel like we're going to fail or we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's trusting. It all comes back to this, right? It's trusting the journey, and that trust factor. Those of us, I don't think anyone listening to this particularly would have been brought up without some kind of money scarcity. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel the need to listen to a money podcast, but we both have grown up with the scarcity. And what that means is we were born 100% trusting. We came out of the womb not even seeing properly and like trusting that we're going to get fed and kept alive. And then over time, all the scarcity around money and believing in ourselves, all the bullshit that's happened, we lost trust. So we
Yep.
developed trust issues. And that's what I think one of the hardest, it feels hard, it's simple, but it feels hard, is we have to, like, along with doing the do of the strategy and the effort and all that, we actually have to fucking trust.
Yep.
And there was
Trust,
yeah.
trust and do the work, because people, and it's so easy for people to look at other people doing well and then say things like, oh, it's easy for them or it's lucky for
Mm,
her and blah, 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 blah. But if you really actually speak to people that are very successful, it's not easy for anyone. Everyone puts in the work. And, I went to Armidale High School. I grew up in Byford, and there's nothing wrong with those areas. Some of my friends that are my best friends are still living in those areas, which is totally fine. But the way people tend to think, so she's laughing at me, but the way they tend to think is they still do the 9 to 5 jobs, and
yeah.
we have chats and they want more, and sometimes money is hard, but like they don't think differently to want to do a course after work or wake up early before the kids to put in the time to make a different life for them. It's just not the way their brains are kind of made, which is totally fine again. But it's exactly like we said before, it's the same with health, right? If you
Mm,
want to be fit and you want to be lean and you want to breeze through menopause, which is where I'm at, I'm 40. You've got to go and do the work. You got to wake up early and go to the gym. You got to eat the good food. You got to cook the good meals, and then it becomes autopilot and it's easy. That side of my life is very easy. But
yeah.
I have to still put conscious effort into the whole money thing. And it's not that like I'm doing badly, but it's that thinking different, because now that I've hit that level, I'm ready to go to that next level.
Well, it
And
is
it's
now.
that constant.
You're a different identity. This is why when I made my first 100 grand residual income, meaning if I took time off, I still got paid. I had no mortgage. I had credit card debt, which should have been easily cleared with what I was earning. I had no savings. I was still in debt with my uni debt. Like, I still owed 40 grand to the government. We won't go into that with my beliefs and around all that, but whatever. And I was earning 100 grand. So I had made more money, and I came from earning like 20 grand a year hustling as a broke uni student, but I still felt the same. Where I'm going with this is, oh, I had the money coming in, but I wasn't identifying as the rich woman, as the
Yeah.
wealthy woman. So I was still spending like it were like, I was spending in scarcity. I was spending like it was going to run out. I was attaching so much importance to money over importance to me. And it's like, it's the money had the control. And that's the thing where it works both ways. You could then, you've now doubled, if not more, the revenue. It's like, okay, but if I keep acting like the person who had less, like, you'll energetically dwindle, or for some reason you will attract business bills, you will
Come,
spend it to dwindle it down. It's like, how do I hold and manage this next level? Because it's an energetic capacity. And I do want to say this, because then to get ahead, guys, this is the trick. Let's call it a trick. It's not a trick, but this is what feels like the trick. if you want more, learn how become the woman who can hold more, then the money catches up. Like it works. It doesn't matter whether you got the
Yes.
money first or not yet. It's like who you become, who you identify as.
100%. I love that about your program as well, is you're not just teaching people how to manage their money, you're teaching people how to manage their mind around money.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been my biggest thing because I've been pretty good at managing money, but my mind has been, quite a limiting factor for me. And like you were saying as well, when you take that leap, so just we're going to use your program for an example. So if people listening struggling with money, invest in Kim's program, it's amazing. It's an investment for the future, right? But the
Yeah.
universe will support you. And if you're not ready to go, but you're kind of on the fence, there might be things that are going to push you to think differently. Because just before I leveled up with my business, I wrote my car off. My husband
Of
decided,
course you did. Of
yeah, I
course you
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrote my car off, had to get a new car. My husband, also, who was always earning the money, like I said, decided to have a massive change. And he actually now works for himself and is a new business in mining. So crazy stuff in our household, but there became a point October where his salary in his new business has run out because they haven't made another deal. So that's when he said, "Babe, you got to step up to the plate." And you know what? I actually could for the first time, and it feels amazing. But I love that it's like I'm going to take this shit seriously and believe in myself. And yeah, and let's get invest, take the chance,
Yes, you gotta invest. I
and
know.
listen to those messages the universe telling you. So, like, if you've been thinking about joining Kim's program, and then another big ass bill comes and you go into that stress of like, I can't pay this, but that's that constant pattern you've been stuck in. Maybe you should try something different and invest in a program where someone's going to teach you that these things won't be stressful anymore because you've managed your money.
I love thank you for this. This was not planned. I'll take the shameless plugging. Thank you for this the promo there. But you know what? It's the same thing with what you do, right? I have 2 degrees in sports science and exercise physiology. And then I worked for 10
I
years
didn't
in
know that.
Oh, yeah, did you not know that? Well, there you go. I know about the body, like, very ego-y too, because as you do as a well, I was a glorified PT at the end of the day, after all of my study, really. But, again, that's another story for another day. But I knew all the things. I knew all the fucking things. I knew it all. And it wasn't until I was like, I handed my money over to Jess. I was invested. Did I then get the results? Because she gave me, because even most of the things you did teach me, and I did understand this and I knew this, but it was like, yeah, it's like I didn't trust.
Confirmation.
I
Yeah.
had that validation and you did it and I stuck to it because I think this is a really good message for us to wrap this up onto is the investing. It's like we either invest time or money. It's if you want to save time because you can never get time back, you can always make more money. It is better to invest the money because that will fast track things. So, and where was I? Now I've gone on a tangent, lose my train of thought is the investing. I put that money and I didn't want to waste it. I didn't want to waste that money. So
Yeah.
I listened to Jess. I actually did it. And your programs, this is why they work so well because they're simple, but it's worth the investment. And I know you would hear from so many people because I've been this person where I know I need to eat healthy. I know I need to exercise. And you know what? Not to throw my husband on the bus, love him. He's like, babe, I can lose 5 kilos in a week if I just run every day. I'm like, you've been saying that for 4 years. Can you just go for a run every day for a week? Like, it's me. But, they know better.
Yeah.
I do this too. I know better, but it's not until I'm like invested. And if you can't emotionally or physically invest yet, financially invest because that will hold you accountable because no one wants to lose money.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
you do
100%.
you see this and you'll hear this, not just from me. I know your clients are like, oh, thank fuck I invested in you, Jess. Thank fuck I did what you said. And now I'm never looking back. You know your shit. Like, please confirm what I'm saying, right? Of course you hear this all the time.
Oh, yeah, 100% hear it all the time. And that's also why in clinic, like I charge a lot to come and see me in clinic because one, I really value my time. And when you come into clinic and you leave, I spend hours on your written report and your meal
Mhm.
plans. For people not to follow it. I used to charge 189 for an in-clinic consultation, which came with the consultation and the written report. It didn't include the meal plan. But then I changed that to a $500 deep dive. So the consultation, the written report, and the meal plan. Now, you get 90 minutes with me and then you leave, and then I spend a few hours putting all that together. If you spend $500, you're going to do it.
And you know, that's not even that expensive. Everyone has their thresholds. But like my health and my like my body, my health is everything. Health is even
Yeah.
more important than money.
Well, I'm thinking of putting that up anyway because it's actually a bargain, like for the amount of hours that I put on. And then you get access to my app as well for the recipes.
Yeah,
But if you don't want me to read the blood tests and you don't want to see my pretty face in the consult, you can do the online version. It's only 156. You
yeah,
get the written report, you get the 7-day fully calculated meal plan, and you get full access to the app and you get my online BOP group. $156 for personalized nutrition. There
is
is no other program out there
so good.
like this in the whole entire world. I actually still can't believe I was the first person to do this. This blows my fucking mind.
Well, I feel stupid that I know you. Like we're friends now. Look, I'm friends with a
Yeah.
famous person. You'll be famous and love this. Invite me to all your red carpet
I don't
moments.
even want to be famous. I just want to help lots of people. That's what I'm about. I want people to feel good because I
Yeah,
felt shit before.
yeah,
And when I was corporate and I was drinking heaps of coffee, I was running on the treadmill all the time, hardly eating any food. I was skinny, but I was sick. I didn't have nutrients for great mental health. My gut
yeah,
was struggling, and I ended up with chronic fatigue. And that's what made me study nutrition and fitness and become a nutritionist. And I'm fucking passionate about women feeling good. And now in that time, I had fertility issues. I'm passionate about getting women pregnant. I'm now in perimenopause. I'm passionate about women having a great menopause experience. I have life experience at
yeah,
40. I've done a lot of shit, got divorced, had chronic fatigue, had breast implant illness, like so many things. Lost babies, all the things, but it's all stuff that the universe gave me to become a better health practitioner.
yeah.
And
This is
I've
what you're paying for. This is who you're investing. I think it's really good. Like everyone wants the cheapest deal, the quickest deal, or the whatever. But it's like, who are you actually investing in? What are you going to be getting back? And I think that's why it's so important. This is why, like, always go to you for health, or if I refer people, I'm like, you need Jess Lowe. Like, don't even bother wasting your time looking anywhere else. And it is our life experience. It's like don't I will never take advice from money advice from a broke person. I'm never gonna
yeah,
take business advice from a business owner who has not achieved more than I have achieved, because what are they gonna tell me that, and that can sound wanky, but why would I take business advice for someone when my business success and goals and desires are twice the size of theirs because they haven't walked that path yet? And that's okay. It's just a fucking reality. Like I'm not
yeah,
gonna take pregnancy advice from someone who's never wanted children and never gone down that path, but then they, tell you all the wives' tales. It's like, well, what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Like, it's just the reality.
Exactly, yeah. And that's like I had clinical nutritionists working in my clinic and they had better degrees than me, but they had no life experience or experience in clinic, like working
Yeah,
with real life people, case
yeah,
studies, random health things, like the things I've helped people solve is just like mind blowing. But that's kind of the difference. But if you just want to level up with your body composition and your health, do my virtual program. It'll be life changing and it's a good
yeah.
investment. And if you're struggling with money, do Kim's program. Look at us, sales
So
queens.
great. I was telling each other, I love it. But we help people, and that's the whole point. We want you to be healthier. We want you to be wealthier. Wealth is health. Wealth is money. You will notice a lot of wealthy people aren't sick.
Yeah,
I pay a shitload in tax, and I swear I don't even get to use in this beautiful country we're in. We pay a lot of tax to that does have systems that are supportive, that they support the sick people. Fair, like we need that because there are sick people. If you notice, like us healthy, wealthier people are usually healthier. It all ties in, and and we know the moment we get tired, run down, stressed, and whatnot, it puts stop signs up for all of the ambition.
100%.
And that's why. So you need Jess for your health, you need me for your money, obviously. And together, like your life could just be fucking insanely
Insane.
abundant. Like,
Exactly. And the best thing about being healthy is energy, especially
yeah,
when you get old and you have kids. Because when you have energy, you have the time to make the meal rather than buying the takeaway.
yes. Or you have the money because you looked after yourself that you can afford if it is take. No, I won't say take
A
away.
good restaurant.
You
Yes.
can pay, well, in a day and age where there's so many coming out there that do the meal planning and food prep for you, but that costs,
Yep.
right? So if you can't do it yourself, you buy, but you can afford to do that to nourish yourself, to give yourself good energy. So it's that beautiful, it supports each other. It's that cycle that supports each other.
It's
So,
an ecosystem.
but in saying that, like every time if anything, if I wasn't going to make my own food, I would pay for the chef to make Jess's food because even buying pre-made stuff is never as good. But look, it's better. There's a point there, and I know you guys get it, but it's your food. Oh my gosh, seriously, there's some of the recipes I still make now. Some of them I'm like, there's this slice that you had, and then I remember because they were perfectly, like, I was had to count my calories with it too, watch because there was a weight loss goal in there. And I remember Daniel was going into the freezer to get one. I was like, mate, you can't just eat them. Like, they're my special. He's like, but they're so good. Like, they don't even taste healthy because it's, they're the caramel. I think it's like a caramel slice.
I've got
Caramel
that
with
many,
dates.
hundreds
I
of
know.
them.
I could picture it. It looks almost, it's like the chocolate at the top and then that looks like toffee caramel in the middle and then the biscuit bottom.
Oh, the Twix bars, the healthy Twix
No, it wasn't
bars,
six it's like a big slab and I chopped it up.
peanut
Or
butter fudge bar.
maybe that one. Who knows? Because you have a million. I was like, it's the only one I remember.
So many,
Oh, so
thousands and
good.
thousands of recipes.
Yes. It's so good. Anyway, I love this. So everything you can find in the show notes, go check out Jess because she is absolutely amazing. Go follow her. This episode will come out before you take stage at International Women's Day, which is amazing.
I know,
So I'll
thank
make
you.
sure everyone's where us ladies in Perth, there's a amazing International Women's Day event. Jess is in the spotlight sharing her story. And then obviously if you're listening to this after, well, if you didn't go, you miss out. But that's okay. But you're listening
Are
to
you
this
going? Are you
episode.
coming?
Potentially. I
Nice.
haven't bought tickets yet.
There's only 10 left.
I know, I'm a last minute kind of girl.
Message
Um,
Ash.
I
She'll look it.
literally would go to see you and Sammy speaking. That's the reasons I would go.
Oh, I haven't met Sammy in the flesh, but because we're both on the panel, we've been messaging and I love her. I
So
can
good.
tell we're going to get along so well. Her energy is
All
like
right.
boom.
Yeah, and she'll be on the podcast soon too, Miss Sammy. So everyone, Sammy Kennedy, little plug for her there.
Yeah.
Okay, yay. All right. Is there anything you want to leave with, or I always like little piece of advice? I know there's always going to be so many bits, or something that sits with you, or when you're in a space of like, you're doing really well. Actually, this is a good one. You're doing really well right now. You are,
Yeah.
but you're human. And I know
100%.
you don't always wake up every day like, fuck yeah, I'm amazing. Everything's good. I'm like, who even fucking does that on any day? We usually have to get up and motivate ourselves. What's something that you tell yourself or remind yourself of or to tune back into?
Okay, so I think the biggest thing is, and especially if you are one of those people that's a bit more of a high achiever, perfectionist, constantly driven, is in those moments of low times or tired times, or like, you might not have slept well because of stress. That happens to me a lot, just how I'm quite wired. I take a moment and I think, take a breath first, activate that parasympathetic nervous system. So do that. But then look back on your journey, right? And be proud of where you've kind of progress to, and just reflect on what you've done to get there, and then remember that just keep moving the needle forward. So no matter where you are at in life, and everyone is special, unique and fucking epic, you do you, boo. This isn't about anyone being better than anyone else. This is about you doing the best for you and feeling really epic in who you are as a person and what you're doing, whether that is being an amazing mom or an entrepreneur or just chilling every day. Like whatever it is, whatever you can do for yourself to move the needle closer to where you want to be, who you want to be, and how you want to feel, do the fucking work and keep going. But to give yourself that motivation to keep going is reflect on where you've come from and be fucking proud of who you are and what you've done, and just keep going. That's
Oh,
what I do, and that's my kind of advice to
love
anyone
it.
that
Yeah.
may be struggling, particularly if you're in that moment of struggling daily, like you're having a bad patch, which we've all had.
Yeah.
And obviously for me, that was when we lost two babies, but the second one was the hardest for me. And it was also a really hard time in business. And to keep waking up as a mum to Emily, who was already there, and be strong for her, and to show up for my clients and hold space for them, that was very, very tough. Like, it was probably the hardest kind of
Yeah.
period I've had.
Yeah.
And I know those times are going to come again, but right now I'm riding the wave of good times.
Yeah.
But
Fuck yes.
yeah, but looking back at that time and thinking like, fuck yeah, I got out of that hole and I'm still in business and I'm doing really well and I'm a great mum and I had my baby and life's fucking good. Like, but you're all going to have those hard times. So just move the needle forward.
I love that. And you know what? I've said this a few times on episodes. This is what always reminds me back to this gets me. This gets me right. The Hangover movie number 2, I think it is, and it's a
Oh,
Chow
yeah, yeah, yeah.
saying it to the Bradley Cooper character, and he's like, "But did you die?" And he said, "Well, I was shot." But did you die? And it's like, you know what? But did you die? No, you were shot. You were shot with losing baby. Like, you took a lot of fucking bullets, and we've all taken a lot of bullets. But there's almost like we have to talk to, if our victim's at play, poor me, this sucks. It's like, but did I die? No. And look, I got shot and I survived and I've
Yeah.
come out the other side, and then look how far I've come. It's almost like, it's almost a roll your eye analogy, but it's so fucking true. Like, if you can't motivate yourself, think of that. But did you die? And you know
Yeah.
what? I don't care how morbid it is. If you're listening to this, you're not dead, which means you have opportunity. You've come through the other side. And then I think leaving it with, if then you're at a point where you're like, I'm sick of having to do this myself, it feels hard to be led, to be supported, whether it's your health goals, money goals, whatever, get the fucking coach. Like, it took me
Yeah.
years to get the coach, and now I will never not have a coach or a mentor in something
Yeah.
that I can achieve, because they're going to make it 10 times easier for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the amount of money that I spent on healing and all of that
Yeah.
in that space, like, God, if
Yeah.
my husband only knew for all through my business, it's health related. But yeah, like definitely spending the money. And you can be the victim in that time. My business wasn't doing well when it was COVID, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, I need to spend this money to get out of this bloody hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, expertise, your amazing product and service. So excited. It's going to be a global phenomenon, and so
Oh,
excited.
thanks for having me. I could talk all day
I know. I was
with
just
you.
like, what else are we doing? Let's have a whole new conversation. But anyway, I will chat to everyone in the next episode. See ya.
Bye, gorgeous. Bye.